to use Excel today to make histograms. Okay, so in front of you, you have how to create a histogram in Excel typed out for you. It's a document so that if you want to do this on your own computer, you are able to do that. Okay, so I made up this data, and I do want to show you, you can have it listed in just one single column, or you can have it listed in a table like this. Okay, so you can do it either way. A lot of times when I'm entering data, I just put it straight down in a column. Let's just have it. So, but again, you can put it like a table, and I'll show you both ways will work. Okay, so I made this data up. I was thinking, you know, what would some heights be maybe of some high schoolers and statistics? So let's pretend these are in inches. So go ahead and enter this in. You can put it like this if you want, or in one column. It doesn't matter. I'm going to call them out to you. So 62, 65, 63, 64, 62, 65, 69, 68, 69, 67, 68, 72, 75, 72, 71, 76, 77, 76, 74, 73, 72, 75, 76, 77, 74, 75, 72, 70, 68, 67, 68, 62, 64, 68, 72, 73, 74, 73, 76, and 63. You should have 40 data values. Everybody have them? Okay. Now look on your sheet. It says if you're using a PC, which if you borrowed one of the school ones, that's what it is, versus if you're using a Mac. Do you see that? You have to enable this. It's something that comes in Excel, but it's not like turned on. So you have to turn it on. Okay. So the way you do that is you click File up in the top left. Click File. Then you go down to Options. Click Options. And this window pops up. Okay. Then you're going to go down here to Add-ins and click that. And now we're going to select Excel Add-ins. And that's what's selected. Normally that's what's turned on. Okay. And you're going to click Analysis Toolpack. And then go. And we're going to select Analysis Toolpack and Analysis Toolpack DBA. And then we're going to click OK. So you click Excel Add-ins if it's not selected. Then you click Analysis Toolpack, click Go. Then you select those two, and then you click Go. Okay? Now if you have a Mac, it's a little bit different, and it's typed out right there. All right, once you do that, how do we create the histogram? So look right here on the bottom half of the sheet. It says create a histogram. Insert all data values into the worksheet in Excel. We did that. Okay? You learned in class the other day how to find class width and how to figure out the number of classes. Do you remember? How many classes you should use? But then do you remember I talked about you can just make the choice sometimes, like the viewer is probably more comfortable with this type of data, probably going by 5, right? So what's the smallest value? Well, sometimes what I do is I highlight all of them. I highlight all of them. Are you watching? And then I copy and paste them because I like to leave my raw data alone when I'm working with data. I don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean? So I make a new sheet, and then I insert the data again. So I'm going to paste it, which is Control V. And then I go over here to sort and filter. You see I'm in the upper right-hand corner in here, sort and filter. And I go from smallest to largest, which is really nice. But notice I left my raw data alone. I copied and pasted this, and then I sorted it. Because sometimes if you accidentally hit a button or something, it will mess up your raw data. You know what I mean? Okay. So the shortest person, pretend person in the stats class is 62 inches, and the tallest is 77. So I want to make bins probably, or classes, from what to what? 60 to 80. So I'm going to divide it from 60 to what? Maybe 65, or do you want to go by 10? Which one would probably show me the distribution better? Going by 5, the class width of 5, or by 10? 5 4s? Really? Okay, if you want to go by 4s, that's fine. I'm going to go by 5 because I think the viewer probably might like that. But I love that you said, I'm going to go by 4s. Do it. Now, you don't have to type this. I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you. And remember, 70, we want 70 to belong to which class? The first one where 70 is the upper class boundary, or the second one where 70 is the lower class boundary? The lower. Exactly, the second one. So hang on. Everybody watching? This is what I actually want you to type, your bins, okay? If you want the upper class boundary to be 65, then you have to tell Excel that the upper bin is 64.9. Otherwise, it puts 65 in that bin. But I want 65 to go in the next bin, because that's the rule. So I'm going to deduct a tenth from it. Because it just makes it, it just tells it, hey, put it in the next one. So what would my next one be? I don't want 70 in there. So I'm going to make it 69.9. And watch this. Everybody watch. If you highlight these, do you see this little box in the corner turn to a plus? If you drag it down, it's going to keep going by 5. Isn't that cool? Have you ever done that before? If you have not, hopefully I just taught you something in Excel. Isn't that neat? You have to highlight 2 of them at least. So highlight 2, and then click the box and drag down. If you only have 1 highlighted and dragged down, it's going to copy that number for that many cells. So I use the upper class boundary that I deducted a tenth so that it doesn't put that number into it. Okay, everybody? All right, so let's keep reading. Create the bins that the computer will use by using the upper class boundary minus a tenth. And then you'll notice I said, or a hundredth or a thousandth, whatever. If your data is in tenths, then you'll want to subtract just a hundredth. You know what I mean? If your data is in hundredths, you would subtract a tenth. But because I'm working with whole numbers, I just subtracted a tenth. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, great. And then it says, click data at the top. So I'm going to look for data. It's the tab up here, data. And because I turned on those 2 tool packs, you'll see right here it now has analysis and data analysis. If you don't turn those on your computer, this won't be here. Okay? So we're going to select data analysis. And look at all these options you get. You can run an ANOVA 2-factor with replication, ANOVA 2-factor without replication, a correlation analysis, covariance, descriptive statistics, exponential smoothing, which I have no idea what that is, an F-test for 2 sample for variances, and then look right here, histogram. So I'm going to click OK. Then it says input range. So it's asking you, what are your data values? Okay? So I'm going to click beside input range, and then I'm going to go to my sheet, and I'm going to select all of the values. I'm going to scroll back up. Now it says bin range. So I'm going to select my bin. Okay, everybody? Then the next thing you do is you want to select chart output. That's going to actually create the histogram chart. Okay? And then you click OK. You'll notice at the bottom it creates a whole new sheet. Now, does this look like a histogram? know it looks like a bar graph because it has space. So if you flip your sheet over on the back, it says, to remove the gaps between the bars, use the following steps. Right-click a bar. So I'm going to right-click on a bar. Then I'm going to select Format Data Series. And you'll see this pops up on the right-hand side, and it says Gap Width. We're going to change that gap width to 0. Everybody see what that did? Isn't that cool? Another option, if you don't want to do it that way, I think I can just, let me get rid of this for a second. I think you can just double click. Yeah, you can just double click really fast on a bar, and it'll pop up as well. Okay? This is cool because this is where you can like change the color of stuff and change the width between the bars, stuff like that, okay? I do not need these two columns. Do you see that? So I actually didn't need the 84.9 because I didn't have anybody taller than 80, did I? No. So what you do is over here, you're going to select these two rows. Normally I just have to select the more row, but because I had an extra bin that I did not need, I'm going to select it as well. And I'm going to right-click the two, and I'm going to delete. Look what it does to the histogram. Everybody see that? Now, I'm going to undo that. Watch what happens if you just highlight and then press the delete key. Everybody watch the difference. Do you see the difference? It doesn't actually get rid of those two bins in the histogram, and I don't need them, right? So instead, you want to highlight both, right-click, and select delete because it gets rid of it, okay? Now, we have some rules for histograms. The rules are you need to change the labels, right? So for me, what was this? This was the height, and then I'm going to put parentheses inches, right? Frequency, is that okay? Yes. And then this, you don't say histogram. Instead, you would say height of statistics students or something like that, okay? So can this graph stand alone? Absolutely, okay? One other thing, this is just a Cheryl preference, okay? My bins, I don't actually like for them to look like that because I think that's hard to interpret because that makes it look like 64.9 is the middle value, right? Doesn't it make it look like the class mark, the midpoint? So instead, after I've made this and it creates this new sheet, I like to go in and I like to write 60 to 65, 65 to 70, 70 to 75, and 75 to 80. And as I did that, did you notice what was happening? It was changing over here, okay? You will get a project in here where I'll say make it visually appealing. Is this visually appealing? No. I don't want you to make it crazy and distract from the information, but I do want you to change it and make it your own, okay? So a way you can do that, you can just choose one. So notice how it selected all of them when I clicked the bar. I'm going to click one bar again, and it chooses just that bar. And then you can go to Fill, and you can actually insert a picture from a file or an online picture. So I'm talking about height. I might look up a ruler. I don't really love any of these. But you see what I'm saying? You can put pictures in there, or if you don't want to put a picture, you can just change the fill, maybe do a texture. If I was maybe talking about water or something, I might change that to water. You see what I'm saying? You can have fun with it. I might go to fill and do texture. Do this one. Then do that one again. Anyways, have some fun with it. These are your own. I've really enjoyed over the years seeing how people can modify them, but also keep them neat and not overwhelming. If you put too much in here, it distracts from what you're trying to say, right? So what would the distribution of this one be? Normal. It's mounded in the middle, less at the extremes, right? And it's really not showing me a great variation. So what happened when you used by 4s?
Oh, I didn't use 4s.
You didn't wind up using 4s, you just stuck to 5? Oh, okay. This is an instance where you might look at that and go, it does look normal, but it's not really showing me a lot of variation because, look, they're all pretty close together, don't you think? So that might be a moment where you use whatever you found. When you square root 40 and then use the highest value minus the lowest value divided by the number of classes. Remember that? I showed you how to do that. This might be an instance where you want to do that, you know. Okay. I will show you really quickly, and then I'm going to let you work on that. P.S. I have OCD sometimes, so you'll notice I sorted this. I copied the column and I sorted it, and then I made sure the values actually were what they were supposed to be. So I found that there were supposed to be 7 by literally counting, and then when I made mine, I made sure that was actually a 7. Okay, so realize you have that option. You can do that. But I did want to show you, can't remember, it's this sheet. Okay. I did want to show you that you can also create it if it looks like this. Okay. So the only difference would be you go to data, data analysis, histogram, okay, input values. Instead of having the column, I'm going to delete those, and I can highlight all of these. I'm still using those same bins, so I'm going to leave that alone. I have chart output selected. I click OK. Yelling at me. The bin range is not empty. Ah, it is empty. Do you see? It's E something. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I'm going to choose these. Nope. Try one more time. Select those. Click OK. And I can make it that way. So it's really up to you how you put the data in there. I just wanted you to see you can have it either in a column or in a table. Sometimes you type it in a table so that you can put it in a PowerPoint. When you have that one long column, it doesn't fit on a slide, so you type it in a table. Excel is fine with it. It gives you the exact same result. Okay? Are there any questions? Okay, great.